I wouldn't say that this is interesting, but today I watch too many of this lady that share her conservative standard about relationship or marriage, and I'm like, it's very interesting, but I don't know how many people would follow this idea. And she is really conservative in her belief, in her standard, that she thinks this is the only way for many of us to survive in relationship, in marriage, in all that stuff. So if you don't want to have this type of healthy relationship or marriage, then just do your way. She didn't say it like that, but that's how I take the overview of what she shared in her channel. I found her in Reels, and I'm just like, this is very interesting idea. I want to listen to this person's belief around relationship. To be honest, I don't believe the same way as she is, but at some point, the very generic belief around relationship works for most people because that's where they at, and that they also have this really overarching belief of what they can get in a relationship when in reality it never works that way. And I get what she said, but also like at some point I'm like, but there is also this type of people, and there is also this type of destiny, this type of mission that some human have. And I don't know how well she meddle with the community of women these days. But she is allowed, she is encouraged to share her belief because that's what she believes. And that's what we all here to do. But I am having a hard time to understand if which one is the truth. And I think like these days I've been so good at communing with other people, communing with a very different idea about life, about whatever it is that we have going on in life. And this person is included in that. And I have a really duality, dual experience now. What is it like? It's so different. It's very different than what I believe. That's essentially it. And I wonder like why these days I can't hold my own belief in such a way that it is good that you can commune with other people. I mean, that's what I used to struggle with because other people have such a really different idea, different belief than I do. And I'm like, I don't know if what you believe is actually works better because it is for you. But from my own experience, that doesn't work well. So I have that fight within myself. I never actually said it to those people because I understand that no matter what I do, they will still believe what they want to believe. So, what is this experience? And I used to struggle with that. And I get to a point where I know how to mitigate the impact, the pain, the what do you call it? The differentness between us. And I'm like, I know where to navigate this energy within myself, and I don't need to fight or flight. I'm just experiencing whatever it is happening within me, and that's what I am really good at. But because I'm really good at that, there are part of me that was forgotten, which is who I am. which is like I'm just gonna do whatever I want to do, which is really individualistic, very independent, um, highly sovereign. And that's the problem with me these days, is that I get to forget myself to a point where if I believe something different, I don't dare to hold on to my own value, onto my own standard and belief. And for example, there is this movie, Disclosure Day. I promised myself to watch it, but then I understand that every movie that was premiere, every movie that is going out there, people know that you can watch it, has a certain energetic in it, has certain mission. And in my country, it's a bit late, and there are countries that already watch it and they share their take on what is the movie about. And I'm like, oh my God, it's really harsh. And I don't like to experience those things. And I like the balance and peace and just soft movies. And that's why like my choice is becoming limited because of that standard of me, of what I want to experience in the entertainment. And I'm like, then I don't want to watch the movie because there are too many other people that said it's not good. There is some agenda in it. There is just so different. It's not what I thought. And I'm like, how do I want to watch it? I mean, like I can watch it in my own laptop eventually when it's out. But I'm like, but it'd be nice if we can watch it in the theater, right? Right. And I get to a point where I'm struggling to own my own desire, and then I just drop it. I never watch it to this day, and I just heard so many people in the spiritual community talking about it, and they actually like the essence of the movie. But the normal people who never actually dive deep or have full personal experience with this type of things, the ET, the spirituality, the greater agenda of Earth, they are so um negative about the movie. I understand that, and I'm like, that's interesting. I think like when I get to watch it eventually in my own laptop later, I will share what I thought, what I think about the movie. But for now, that was one of the example of like I can't own my own desire. It's like I'm being bombarded by this, oh, this thing is not good because of this person said it's not good. It's not even like the person I trust. It's not the people that I follow, but because they hold such a negative review about it, I can't hold it. I can hold my own desire. And I'm like struggling in that area. And I never get to personalize this as a problem. But now I can see that such a problem because it branched out into other areas of my life, which is timing. So in my business, there are things that I follow through other people's system, and one of those is the system from GG33, which is the numbers of the day and all that stuff. And I struggle with that really, really, because in these days you gotta do it like this, and these days it's very strict. Like these days you gotta connect. These days you gotta like just work your ass off on a typical task of your whatever it is. This one is actually you need to care for your family. This one is about you creating something new, and this one is you gotta adapt and all that stuff. It's so many other things that it's so strict. Like I can't claim my own rules. That's also one of the things. Sometimes you cannot follow your own desire, or you cannot follow your own rules, the standard that you own, and why you eventually want to create in those boundaries. And I can't hold it. And I'm like, I actually think this is a huge problem. So now that I get to see what I experience in this, where I don't get any pulled to follow my own thing is a problem, because I have been so good with this idea of community. But now what? So get back into the YouTube videos about the lady who talk about her standard really, really strongly, which is she believe in conservative, because I get to understand I actually don't believe it that way, because there are so many other factors that happen in this current reality, especially for each person. And I'm like, exactly. That's also including you, including me. So I get to see how different our point of view really are. And I get to see, why do you need to follow this person's rule? If you know what you want in a relationship, if you what you want in certain things from other people, what you need and all that stuff. Because that also can count as how different the reality is becoming between you and those people who hold different belief. And I get to see, and that's like the time, which is like this morning. That's the time when I said, oh, this is the problem that I have, is that I get so good at including other people's opinion that I eventually forget myself. And I'm like, this is actually really easy. There was a time, so this is part of a past experiment that I did. There was a time when I just don't care anything, and I get to, okay, let's do it this way, let's do it this way. And I was just so focused on my shift that I don't really care about anything else. And I'm just like, so one mind, one road, one path, one idea, and all that stuff. And I just like focus on the things and creating that thing. I miss those moments. And I'm like, you do remember, and this is me just talking to myself, you do remember that you have those moments where you are just so in yourself, you are just so in your ego that you don't care about anything else. And for me, that's my identity. I used to be that person who only follow my rules, only do what I want to do, only see what I want to see, and eventually my life becomes small because I was so focused on that. I don't care about anything else. And then I digress to a moment where I just care about everything else, but not me. There's also a moment like that. But also like these days I get to be in the middle line, so still, like I don't go in higher or lower than the middle one. I'm just like there. I own what you see as a harmony, as a coherence. Like I just meddle so well with that I don't remember myself. And this is the idea of living in such a fourth dimensional world, is that you get to experience everything within this reality, but eventually you are losing your sense of identity, which is special to which is the specialty of a third dimensional, because everything here is such a really duality, such a separate idea. It can be this, but it can also be this, but it can also be this. This can these three things, example for these three things, it can be experienced as sadness, but because it can happen in such a different way, you will title it as a grief, guilt, and anything else. It's the same. You are just being sad. In a higher dimension, those emotion is called in the same title. And that's why I don't have a different title for everything, because it's the same result in my chemical body. And that's what I experience. But this time, we fall too deep to an extreme that we don't really need to experience. And the key for this is actually tuning deeper into who you are, the essence of you, the frequency of you. And this thing I already, I don't remember the word. I already like try to say it in my own way before this life, and I found the way to say it in such a really vague way. So you will you will understand it or you will not understand it, because I can't pinpoint who you are. That is undeniably foolish because I am not you and I will never be you, but I can say it in my own experience that being myself has those ideas of being radical, of being really out there, of being really stern in my own opinion, of being like, I don't give a fuck what you do, I'm just gonna do mine. I have those energetic so well imprinted in my own essence that whenever I tune into who I am, those things coming up, and you get to see me shine because I hold a really distinct value, standard, belief, experience that no one out there would actually experience the same thing as I do. And that happened in my story, in my story when I received my mission. It happened when I did the whole 20 years journey. It happened when everything just in my life is actually invested in this energy of me, because I am the one who did that. I'm the one who's creating that. So no one out there can replicate me. But that key of how I experience myself is when I extend my own frequency in the things that I created. This is really like really fact, because I can pinpoint with who you are. You eventually will find yourself, if you are, if the true you is actually soft, well spoken, well defined in words and experience and feelings, that you are so distinct and saying you are well spoken in everything that you share within yourself. If you're that person, that's you. But there's also like other people who have this, what do you call it, the corners of your experience, the corner of the corner of your experience. It's that is exactly it. Is that when you go into doing it your way, you will find it as it is me. Like those moment where you just, when you just say, this is just me, I don't know what you're saying, I don't see anything wrong with it. That is a high chance that you are moving your energy, because no one, you cannot deny your own action because you are just being yourself. No one out there can say anything when you are in this type of energy, because this is just the extension of you. And that's also like, it can be extreme, like the story of how someone and someone else's life, because that's just who they are. They never learned it, and they don't hold grudges about the people they, and they just like, I just want to do that, it's just me, the extension of that. So that is one way to see who you are. Now don't confuse this thing with preference. Preference can be learned, and can be learned from everything else. You get to see something and then you learn, oh, I actually like that. That is not your essence. Now, when I say your essence is something that just flow from you. And the point where no one can say shit about it, or you don't allow anyone to actually say shit about it because you don't know anything else besides doing that thing, is actually the key of knowing if that's just a preference or is that just you. I wonder like if I can say it differently. So the edges, the corner of your experience, the corner of this experience of you is can be experienced as the things that you like, can be experienced with everything that you do. You can be experienced that the extension of the things that you do. So that is very vague. I don't know if you get it the way I do, because I have this bubble that whenever I get into it, I'm just being so focus oriented. I don't go like sparsing to other branches of life or other communities. I'm just like being myself because I'm strongly agree with my idea, my philosophy, my belief that I don't really care about anything else. And that's just the key of being myself. So the key of being yourself, there are, so this is a longer pathways that you can try to find if you are also lost yourself. If you are if you are not if you haven't found yourself for so long and you don't know if this version of yourself of you is actually the one that is the true you, or is this one is the true you that let you focus in whatever you're doing without second guessing if this is right or if this is wrong. If that is happening, then that's not you. Go experience your moment, and then you see that what is pulling you, the choice, the option of action that you can take within those moments. Single it out like that. Like, okay, we are here about to eat something. We can order option A, option B, option C. We used to like option A, but we don't really feel it right now. So option B might be the way, but we can't handle one of the ingredients in it. Our physical need is not met with that. Maybe it's a C. Oh, but this is like someone out there can see this option and they can like say something to it. I actually want to choose option C, but I'm just scared of being judged because I choose something that can be belittled, and I'm like, I don't know. If this is what you're at, choose the option C. Because we are here to just own what we like, what we want, what we are, what the standard that we own. Just choose the option C. I'll be like, what could be wrong of choosing the option C to eat? It's just food. That is one of the ways. So those moments will come with options, and you will single out everything, and you will choose things that is just based on what you desire, what you like, and you get to experience the bubble that you're in. I am doing something that I like. I'm doing something that I love. I'm doing something that I have been waiting for. That thing, that feeling is you. And you need to drown yourself in that energy, because then you see, I am here to live my life. Not their life, not this life, not this person's vision about my life. I'm here to live my life, and that's what I'm gonna do from now on. That's also like the idea of how I found my own energy, is that why am I so scared of having other people judging what I'm doing? Because I'm the one who experienced it. No one out there would. And if it's but if it when if by any chance you choose an option and you eventually, I actually don't like it, great. Then now you know. You got to try the next time to see if you like a different one, if you can really tune into your frequency of yourself more. And there are so many other trials, so many other time when you can like dwell in to yourself. So don't like punish yourself for like I don't actually choose wrong. Actually, like I don't think like this is a great idea. I was like, and this is like why knowing what is your problem can do for you, because then you get to understand, oh, I actually have this problem going on, and that's why like the solution for this might be this one, so let's try to work on this one. That's what I'm doing here. I'm single out everything that I come into my mind about certain things, and this is one of those. So this is like part of the procrastination project that I have, because I've been procrastinating doing my work, and I'm like, I don't know why I can't get into it. I can't fall. I can feel the passion about my work. Like I'm just like fall out of love about my mission and all that stuff, and I'm like, this is not great. Like I'm feeling terrible about it, but I can't do anything else. And then suddenly today it hit me like, play by your own rules. Do what you want. If something is pressuring you, because I know how it feels to feel fear, I get to be in this state of like, that actually doesn't feel good. Like following GG33 system doesn't feel good in my system, because I'm really sporadic. I'm really like spontaneous person, and doing it in such a strict, like this is the day to do it this way, this is the day. I'm like, that's not how we work, honey. So why do you actually want to follow that system? It doesn't make sense. And I'm like, I get to see it. Oh, right. There's this fear, which is everything that is not good. I contain it in the title of fear, because that's such a simple way to understand that it's not that I want. It's not something that I want to experience. So why would I experience this? And it's the same thing as this. The system is great at predicting such a thing, but I am not a follower. I'm a radical person who likes to follow their own rules, and following this person's rules is actually restricting every move that I got, because then, oh, in this day I can't do it I can't do this because it's actually about something else that is not meant for the day. And I'm like, but you want to do it now. It's like that aliveness of you is alive right now. So you gotta do it right now. But I am so stuck at the idea of this system that was introduced by the GG33 that I just like, I can't go out there and do my own thing, because then I will fucked up. That's also like one of fear. Fear is good when you know how it feels in your own body. So I'm really good at sticking with that, but then eventually we are, as a human, forget what things that is happening within ourselves. And because it's happening in such a small dose, just like what I talked about yesterday, it's so subtle that you don't really think it's a problem, but when it's actually happening in a different area of your life in the same manner as that subtleness, you eventually can categorize it as, oh, this is actually a problem that I need to solve right now, and we can solve it right now, right? With this thing called the essence of you. And I try, so my gift is that I can manipulate something to happen within my emotion. So in this instance, this morning, I'm like, I get to understand, oh, this is actually your problem. And because we have not played by own rules, let's see how well we introduce this energy to this problem. And suddenly I'm like, focus. I'm like so self-centered. Like I don't fucking care about anything else. I'm like, oh, this is the key to let you get back on track, which is the title of this video. And I'm like, oh, okay, we got it. And that's why like I'm like, very triggered to share this thing because this is very subtle. You don't necessarily understand it at first, but if you do, it will change your life. And I hope like I describe what I say about this in such a coherent way so that you can replicate it in your own life because it is such a simple way. And I am really grateful that I get to find this thing because this is like one of those keys that if you stack it together in your own system, you will find that aligned pathway within your creation that you don't need anything else to mitigate, to help, to support this thing because this is like the key. And if you do this right, everything else change with it because this is like the key component to shift your whole system. Yep. So I don't know if you are here watching me or if you're catching the live. And if you do, thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.